Today we're going to be checking out a video by Elon Musk, and this one is titled, "There is an overwhelming consensus that AI should have some kind of regulation." And the fact that he's been saying this more and more in the past few months is making me very concerned. Like, what has he seen? Anyways, let's get to it.
So I think the key point was really that it's important for us. It's important for us to have a referee, just as you have a referee in a sports game, or all sports games, and that the games are better for it to ensure that the players obey the rules, play fairly. I think it is important for similar reasons to have a regulator, which you can think of as a referee, to ensure that companies take actions that are safe and in the interest of the general public.
Did you tell them that AI is a double-edged sword?
Yes.
And what did you mean by that? Can you explain that?
Well, what, the metaphor?
Yeah, I mean,
well, if you have a sword with two sides, one side can get you, even though you're trying to get someone with the other side.
Right. When you're telling the senators that, though,
that's how it works.
What do you want them to take away from
I think
that?
it's more important to make sure your hilt is also, you have a hilt, not a sharp thing.
Yeah. Fair enough. What do you think how do you think they took the message that you brought to them?
Well, I think it was very civilized discussion, actually, among some of the smartest people in the world. So I thought Senator Schumer did a great service to humanity here, along with support of the rest of the Senate. And I think I think something good will come of this. I think this meeting may go down in history as being very important for the future of civilization.
Do you think some legislation is going to come out of this?
Probably. I'm not sure what the time frame of that is, but
yeah.
How would you regulate it,
though? It's not a swift one.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think things will go in the right direction generally. Senator Schumer, or Leader Schumer, did ask everyone to raise their hands in the room to see if they were in favor of AI regulation, and I believe almost everyone did.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
Do you think any of the tech CEOs left and changed their minds? Do you think they were changed by anything they heard from the Senate side?
Well, I can't read their mind, but judging by the fact that they put their hands up when asked if they believed that some regulation is in order, I think I think it's clear that there's a strong consensus, overwhelming consensus that there should be some AI regulation, that it would be in the best interest of the people to do so. And I think we'll probably see something happen. I don't know on what time frame or exactly how it will manifest itself.
Yeah, that's the question. What were they going to do?
I don't know. I mean, there's clearly, we've created regulatory agencies before, and actually just recently, just before leaving, made the point that while our regulatory agencies are not perfect, and I deal with regulators on a very frequent basis, with automotive, communications with Starlink, and then FAA with rockets. So I've had a tremendous amount of interaction with regulators for a couple decades at least. And while regulators are not perfect, there's no regulatory agency that I'm aware of that I think we should, at the federal level at least, that we should delete.
Yeah. Do you think there should be a department of AI or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly. Perhaps a department of AI.
Yeah.
It probably, let's say, I think the probability of there being some sort of AI regulatory agency that stands on its own, similar to the FAA or FCC, is likely at some point.
You think so?
I think so. Now, the reason that I've been such an advocate for AI safety in advance of sort of anything terrible happening is that I think the consequences of AI going wrong are severe. So we have to be proactive rather than reactive. In the past, if you take, say, and I'm being somewhat late for, speaking of regulators, sure. I'm a little late for the FAA. I'm meeting with the FAA.
We don't want to hold you up.
I'm sure, but if you take the example of say, seatbelts. Seatbelts were opposed by the auto industry for a very long time, even though the data was very clear that they're safe, that they radically improve deaths and injuries. So, we don't want to be in that situation where we're fighting regulations, even though there's a safety thing. We can't wait for millions of people to die in auto accidents. And and it's important to just elevate the question here. The question is really one of civilizational risk. So it's not like one group versus another, one group of humans versus another. It's like, hey, this is something that's potentially risky for all humans everywhere. very important to understand that.
Is there an equivalent of
And I gotta
seatbelts
go.
for AI?
Do you think Congress is sufficiently ready to regulate AI?
No, not yet. No, the sequence of events will not be jumping in at the deep end and making rules, but it starts with insight. In fact, this is actually how all of the regulatory bodies have been formed, I believe, is you start with a group formed to create insight, to understand the situation. Then you have proposed rulemaking. You'll get some objections from industry or whatever. And then ultimately you get sort of a consensus on rulemaking. That rulemaking then becomes law or regulation.
What's your message to an ordinary person,
I saw very little disagreement, actually.
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you.
Elon, do you still want to have a cage fight with Mark Zuckerberg?
Hey, come in a Tesla. Well, that was an interesting conversation. Well, let's see.
Elon Musk leaving Capitol Hill, speaking with our Eamon Javers right there. Excellent questioning, grabbing him on his way out. Had a lot to say. He said that he does believe there will probably be some kind of AI regulation, likely not swift, sort of noting how long the regulatory process can take, but he does believe it will go in the right direction. We're going to listen back in.
Consider the fragility of human civilization. And if you study history, I think you realize that there's a rise and fall to every civilization. Every civilization has sort of a lifespan, so we want us to last as long as possible.
The ordinary government has been weaponized who may not know. I mean, everyone.
Yeah, so the question here or the concerns would be, how do you regulate AI? Somebody in a video had seen compared AI to crypto, and we've seen that the regulations on crypto have almost not been effective. We can say that, right? But in case of AI, how are you going to put the regulation? What are you going to be doing? Or are you going to stop the companies? Are you going to regulate the companies from implementing AI? Or are you going to have to approve whatever tool they are making with AI? So my question precisely is, where do you put these regulations? Where do you attack the regulations? Is it before the AI tools are being launched? Or you put restrictions where they cannot cross after they are being launched? It's very concerning. AI is very concerning. I like technology. There was a video we had seen that I think they said level 7 might be level 7 might be the highest, and Elon Musk said we've already surpassed singularity. I think level 7 is singularity, something like that, which means the technology we have already, that is already been put out, has crossed over to making independent decisions, but I don't think it's sufficient enough to take actions. But it has enough data to make decisions, and even in some cases understand emotions. I'm passionate about this thing, so I might be sounding all around the place, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Feel free to share your thoughts if you want to talk to us on that one. If you have ideas you want to share or there's something you want to correct or add, please feel free to do so. That being said, is the end of this video. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.